Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, General Hospital Diaries. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Drew Kane might not be Drew at all, but instead could be the supposedly deceased Shiloh, also known as David Henry Archer. During Drew's time in prison for insider trading, where he was trying to protect Carly Spencer, something strange happened. Drew wasn't just beaten badly, but Cyrus Renault was frequently around and might have played a role in a dark plot involving Shiloh taking Drew's place. This theory gains traction because, during his prison stint, Cyrus became a follower of the Dawn of Day cult, led by none other than Shiloh. If Drew truly isn't Drew, but Shiloh in disguise, it would mean Shiloh has plenty of unfinished business with Sam McCall. Not only did Sam try to kill Shiloh, but she also worked to destroy Dawn of Day in her efforts to bring Shiloh down. If Cyrus was under Shiloh's influence, it's possible Shiloh manipulated him into seeking revenge by targeting Sam. While Cyrus may have had his own reasons for wanting Sam out of the picture, especially since she was an obstacle in his plans involving Lulu Spencer, Shiloh could have had his own vendetta against Sam, making sure she paid for everything she did to him. In addition, killing Sam could help Shiloh gain custody of Drew's daughter, Scout Kane. Shiloh would want to raise Scout because of her connection to Sam. This could explain why he's posing as Drew in the first place. Unfortunately, Dex Heller became an innocent casualty when he witnessed Cyrus near General Hospital on the night of Sam's death. Dex might have had information that could implicate Cyrus, leading Shiloh to ensure Dex was silenced in order to keep the truth hidden. Once Sam was gone, Dex had to be removed too, another secret that Shiloh couldn't afford to let slip. After Michael Corinthos was seriously injured in the explosion at Sonny Corinthos' penthouse, Drew, possibly as Shiloh, saw an opening. It's clear that Drew, who could be Shiloh in disguise, has his eye on custody of Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, with a special focus on Wiley. This would make sense, as Shiloh believed Wiley was his son with Willow Corinthos. With Willow signing legal documents to ensure Drew would have custody of her children in case something happened to her, Drew returned custody of Scout to her rightful parent. Shiloh would want to raise the children under his influence, keeping them aligned with Dawn of Day's teachings. But before he can do that, he needs to make sure Michael is no longer a threat to his plans. That's why Shiloh may have pressured Cyrus into ensuring Michael's death by administering a lethal dose of Digitalis at the hospital. However, Michael survived, throwing a wrench in Shiloh's scheme. That doesn't mean Shiloh is giving up, though. He's still determined to gain custody of Wiley, Amelia, and Scout. The worst part? Cyrus has been under Shiloh's control all along, and no one has even suspected it. General Hospital spoilers reveal that Alexis Davis is caught in a scandal that threatens her relationship with Molly Lansing Davis. Alexis knows Christina Corinthos Davis was responsible for cutting the brake lines in Rick Lansing's car, which caused a dangerous crash involving him and Elizabeth Baldwin. Instead of holding her daughter accountable, Alexis is choosing to protect her. For Molly, who has often felt her mom favors Christina, this cover-up, especially considering Rick is her father, could be the ultimate betrayal. Could Alexis' loyalty to one daughter end up breaking her connection with the other? Spoilers suggest Alexis is walking a fine line to keep Christina from facing the consequences of her actions. Rather than forcing Christina to take responsibility for the sabotage, Alexis is crafting a web of excuses to shield her from legal repercussions. Her justification? A mother's instinct to protect her child. But this decision is risky. Christina's actions nearly killed Molly's father, something Alexis is well aware of. Now, with guidance from Diane Miller, Alexis is pulling strings and possibly using her legal knowledge to bury the truth. But big secrets like this are hard to keep hidden. and Alexis might be setting herself up for serious consequences. Hold on tight, because Molly is about to reach her breaking point. For years, she's criticized Alexis for letting Christina avoid the consequences of her actions, and this may be the last straw. Spoilers suggest that Molly could soon grow suspicious, picking up on Christina's guilt and Alexis' strange behavior. If Molly discovers that Alexis knew about Christina's role in nearly killing Rick and still chose to cover it up, expect an explosive confrontation that could shake the Davis family to furious and devastated, confronting Alexis with all the anger and hurt that has been building for years. This betrayal could push Molly to sever ties, leaving Alexis to deal with the fallout of her choices. Is this the end of Molly's relationship with her mother? Just when it seems Alexis might keep the secret under wraps, a new twist could throw everything into chaos. Rumors are circulating that someone, perhaps Rick, investigating further, or Dante Falconeri trusting his instincts, might uncover Christina's crime and Alexis' involvement in covering it up. If Molly gets wind of this, it could threaten not only her trust in Alexis, but also her fragile relationship with Christina. General Hospital spoilers suggest that Drew Kane may be unknowingly setting the stage for a new threat. There's a rising villain who could challenge Drew in ways he doesn't anticipate. So let's break down where this storyline could be headed. Since Drew formed his alliance with Councilman Ezra Boyle, they've been stirring up trouble together. Of course, this partnership holds the potential to bring even more drama. After Ezra turned Mayor Laura Collins' press conference into chaos, Drew was thoroughly impressed. With Ezra's actions and Jordan Ashford's resignation, Drew has plenty of reasons to think that Laura's political future could be on the line. If Ezra follows Drew's lead, Drew believes his ally could take the role of Port Charles' next mayor. From there, Drew wants Ezra to continue doing his bidding, effectively becoming his subordinate. However, Drew might not fully grasp the extent of Ezra's ambitions. Ezra is a man who's willing to get his hands dirty and could prove to be the unexpected threat Drew hasn't accounted for. With Drew now aiming to get Ezra into the mayor's seat, this partnership could take a darker turn. That leads us back to the possibility that Drew might be unintentionally creating a monster, especially if Ezra decides he's done following Drew's orders. The show has hinted at a potential mystery surrounding Drew's fate, which could open up a lot of questions. If Drew faces danger or even something worse in a storyline full of suspects, Ezra could find himself at the top of the list. Regardless of how things unfold, Ezra is just as cunning as Drew, making him a dangerous force in multiple ways. Even if Ezra doesn't go that far, he might target Drew's career and try to undo everything they've worked to destroy for Laura. Drew is a character who often believes he's the smartest person in the room, but Ezra might just prove him wrong. It's clear that Drew sees Ezra as more of a tool, but Ezra may soon grow tired of being in the shadows. Recent developments on General Hospital suggest that Drew Kane's actions, while seemingly driven by good intentions, are inadvertently creating a monster. A villain whose potential impact on the town and its residents is far-reaching and deeply concerning. Sources inside General Hospital are buzzing with speculation about the long-term consequences of Drew's relentless pursuit of justice and his unwavering commitment to protecting his family. While his motivations are admirable, his methods are increasingly risky and are potentially fueling the rise of a new antagonist, one who could eclipse even the most notorious villains in Port Charles history. The storyline centers around the ongoing saga of Cyrus Renault's legacy, the lingering shadow of Peter August's nefarious deeds, and the persistent threat posed by Victor Cassadine. Drew, determined to safeguard his loved ones, particularly his daughter Scout, and his rekindled romance with Carly Spencer, has been walking a dangerous line, engaging in tactics that are pushing him closer to the edge and potentially transforming someone into the very thing he despises. Drew's recent decision to take matters into his own hands, specifically his involvement in covert operations, and his willingness to bend the rules to achieve his objectives, is a cause for alarm. His growing obsession with protecting those he cares about is blinding him to the potential repercussions of his actions. Drew is becoming increasingly reactive, says a source close to the show's writing team. He's operating from a place of fear, and that's leading him down a dark path. He believes he's doing what's necessary to keep everyone safe, but he's unwittingly creating the very chaos he's trying to prevent. His recent interactions with individuals connected to the criminal underworld, coupled with his increasingly secretive behavior, have raised red flags among his allies. Carly, while supportive of Drew's protective instincts, is beginning to question the methods he's employing and the potential for collateral damage. Carly loves Drew, but she's also seeing him change, the source continues. She's concerned that he's becoming consumed by his desire for control, and that he's losing sight of the line between justice and actions will ultimately backfire and create an even bigger problem for everyone. While currently incarcerated and seemingly amnesiac, Esma's past actions and manipulative tendencies cannot be ignored. Drew's relentless pursuit of information regarding her connection to Ryan Chamberlain and her involvement in Peter August's schemes could inadvertently reawaken her dark side and fuel a desire for revenge. If Esma regains her memories, she could see Drew as an obstacle to her freedom and happiness, transforming into a truly formidable adversary. Haunted by Esma's betrayal and the potential for his own family's involvement in her misdeeds, Spencer is already walking a precarious path. Drew's investigation into the Cassadine family's secrets and his potential exposure of hidden truths could push Spencer over the edge, leading him to embrace the darker aspects of his lineage and turn against those he perceives as a threat, including Drew. Perhaps the most intriguing possibility is that Drew's actions are inadvertently paving the way for the emergence of an entirely new villain, someone currently operating in the shadows who will seize the opportunity created by the chaos and uncertainty in Port Charles. This could be a previously unknown associate of Cyrus Renault, a disgruntled former employee of Peter August, or even a member of the Cassadine family with a hidden agenda. The rise of a new villain, fueled by Drew's actions, would have significant consequences for the residents of Port Charles. The fragile peace that has been tentatively established in the aftermath of Peter August's reign of terror would be shattered. The increased criminal activity and the escalating violence could destabilize the town, putting innocent lives at risk. The bonds between families and friends would be tested as allegiances shift and loyalties are questioned. Carly, in particular, would find herself caught in the crossfire. Her relationship with Drew would be strained by his increasingly erratic behavior, and she could be forced to choose between her love for him and her commitment to protecting her family. Furthermore, the revelation of hidden secrets and the exposure of past wrongdoings could unravel long-standing alliances and expose uncomfortable truths about some of Port Charles' most prominent citizens. The looming question is whether Drew can recognize the dangerous path he's on and take steps to prevent the emergence of this new villain. The answer may lie in Drew's ability to trust his allies, to rely on their guidance, and to recognize the limitations of his own judgment. He needs to understand that protecting his loved ones does not require him to become the very thing he despises. The stakes are high, and the future of Port Charles hangs in the balance. As Drew Kane continues his pursuit of justice, he must be mindful of the potential consequences of his actions and the danger of creating a monster that he may not be able to control. The fate of the town and the lives of its residents may depend on it. General Hospital spoilers tease that Ezra could take control, ultimately challenging Drew and possibly turning the tables. General Hospital spoilers tease that there are 5 key questions to answer as Michael Corinthos makes his return to the canvas. So let's dive into what might unfold when the character is fully recovered and heads back to Port Charles. First, let's discuss who will be portraying Michael when he returns. A recent social media leak hints that the recasting process is already in motion. If all goes well and a new actor is chosen to step into Chad Duell's shoes, fans will need to adjust to a fresh face in the role. We'll keep you updated on any significant casting developments as they unfold. Next, let's address the complicated baby daddy situation. Jason Morgan has been pretending to be the father of Sasha Gilmore Corbin's child, but will Michael publicly acknowledge his biological father status? It could be risky, especially if a custody battle arises, but it's hard to imagine Michael walking away from his child for good. Although Michael initially agreed to let Sasha raise the baby on her own, it seems likely he'll have a change of heart down the line. GH fans will also want to know if Michael will seek revenge on those who have turned his life upside down. This includes the person responsible for the penthouse explosion, Drew Kane, and even Willow Corinthos, depending on how her actions unfold between now and then. Willow recently signed documents naming Drew as the legal guardian of her children if something happens to her. However, Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos are also Michael's kids. Drew appears to be positioning himself to take Michael's children away, with Willow's support, almost like she's under his spell. While this move is likely to fail in the end, Willow is only adding to the list of ways hasn't been innocent either. His affair with Sasha and the resulting pregnancy are bound to come to light. At some point, Michael and Willow will have to figure out if they can truly forgive one another. Whether they reunite as a couple or just work as co-parents, it's clear they'll need to find a way to heal and move forward. This question of forgiveness naturally ties into the next one. Who will Michael's next love interest be? While a reunion with Willow is possible, a reconciliation with Sasha should also be considered, especially with their baby on the way. And, of course, Michael could very well find himself falling for someone new once he returns to Port Charles. A fresh start could mean a brand new romantic chapter for him. Michael's absence paved the way for a drastic shift in the dynamics of his family, particularly with Willow Tate. Willow, faced with the devastating news of her leukemia diagnosis, made the agonizing decision to keep her illness a secret, delaying treatment in favor of protecting her unborn child. While her intentions were rooted in love and a desire to give Michael a child, her actions had significant consequences. She essentially deprived Michael of the chance to be a part of these major decisions, a choice that could understandably breed resentment and hurt. The immediate challenge is how Michael will process this profound betrayal of trust. Will he be able to understand and forgive Willow's choices, acknowledging the extraordinary pressure she faced and the love that motivated her? Or will he struggle to reconcile her actions with the foundation of their relationship? This storyline is rife with potential for dramatic conflict. Michael is a character defined by his strong moral compass and his unwavering commitment to honesty. Willow's decision directly contradicts those values, setting the stage for intense emotional confrontations and a potential reevaluation of their commitment to one another. The writers need to carefully navigate this complex situation, ensuring that both characters are portrayed with nuance and empathy, even as they grapple with difficult emotions. Furthermore, the long-term repercussions of Willow's delayed treatment need to be explored. Will she face lingering health challenges as a result? How will the experience impact her relationship with her child and with Michael? These are crucial elements that will determine the trajectory of their relationship moving forward. The tension surrounding Sonny Corinthos and Nina Reeves has been a constant source of drama in Port Charles. Michael has been vehemently opposed to their relationship, viewing Nina as a threat to his family and a manipulative force who has repeatedly caused pain to those he loves. With Michael back in the picture, his stance on Sonny and Nina is likely to intensify, further fueling the conflict. Will Michael continue to actively undermine their relationship, potentially driving a wedge between Sonny and his family? Or will he eventually come to accept Nina, perhaps recognizing that Sunny's feelings for her are genuine and that she has, in some ways, become a stabilizing influence in his life? This storyline presents an opportunity for Michael to confront his own biases and learn to be more accepting of differing viewpoints. While his protectiveness of his family is admirable, his rigid opposition to Nina has often come across as judgmental and unforgiving. The writers can use this situation to explore themes of forgiveness, acceptance, and the complexities of family dynamics. How will Michael's presence affect the power balance between Sunny and Nina? Will he succeed in pushing them apart, or will their bond prove strong enough to withstand his disapproval? While Michael was absent, the Corinthos organization continued to operate, albeit with its own set of challenges. Sunny remains at the helm, but the power dynamics within the organization may have shifted during Michael's absence. Will Michael immediately step back into his previous role within the organization, or will he find himself having to prove his worth to Sunny and the other members of the Corinthos Empire? How will he navigate the potential conflicts that may arise as he reasserts his authority? This aspect of Michael's return offers a compelling opportunity to explore the intricacies of organized crime and the complex relationships that exist within the Corinthos family. Michael is a shrewd and intelligent businessman, but he also possesses a strong sense of morality, which often puts him at odds with the more ruthless aspects of the Corinthos operation. Michael's absence was largely due to the machinations of various antagonists who sought to harm him and his family. The question remains, will he seek revenge on those who wronged him? Revenge is a recurring theme in soap operas, and it would be understandable if Michael felt compelled to retaliate against those who caused him so much pain and suffering. However, seeking revenge often comes at a cost, potentially leading to further violence and escalating the cycle of conflict. This storyline offers an opportunity to explore the themes of forgiveness, redemption, and the destructive nature of revenge. Will Michael learn to let go of his anger and resentment, or will he allow himself to be consumed by his desire for retribution? Beyond his immediate family, Michael has numerous relationships with other residents of Port Charles. His return is bound to have a significant impact on these relationships, both positive and negative. His return has the potential to shake up existing relationships, forge new alliances, and create unexpected conflicts. General Hospital spoilers indicate that Michael will eventually make his way back home from the German clinic. Once he does, it will be time for him to look ahead and figure out what the future holds. Come back to our channel for all your updates. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel.